The movie starts off with a book falling from the sky close to an high school student called Light Turner. He picks up the book, which has Death Note written as the title. While on his way going into the school, he sees a girl being bullied by two boys. He steps in to stop them, but got knocked out. He wakes up to find himself in the principal's office. He tries to explain what happened, but he was ignored by the principal, who punished him with 2 weeks of detention. While on his detention, he brings out the Death Note book to read and is immediately able to see an otherworldly monster named Ryuk. Ryuk explains that the Death Note gives its owner the power to kill any individual by writing their name in the Death Note, so long as Light knows the individual's name and face. Light uses the Death Note to kill the boy who always bullying students in school. He also killed a bank robber with the book and took revenge by killing the man who murdered his mother. The monster Ryuk tells Light that he can control the actions of a person whose name is written in the Death Note for 2 days prior to their death. Light tells his high school crush Mia about the Death Note, and she becomes obsessed with the book. The pair start dating over and begin using the Death Note to kill criminals whose names and faces are publicly broadcast or published in the news. Using the Death Note, they force the criminals to write the name Kira before dying. As Kira's actions are publicized, many people in the public come to believe that Kira is a savior who is cleansing the world of all scum. An anti-Kira task force is started. It is presided over a detective nicknamed L. L is able to track Kira to Light's hometown upon recognizing that the 3 earlier deaths were also attributable to Kira. He covers his face while talking to the media, deducing that Kira needs a full name and face to kill his victims. He invites a local cop named James, who happens to be Light's father, to join the task force. Suspecting Light of being the killer, he confronts Light, threatening him. L essentially confirms his suspicions after Kira doesn't kill James, despite James going public to talk to the media about Kira. Mia wants to kill James, but Light disagrees. She becomes angry that Light refuses to kill his dad, despite saying bad things against Kira. Many of the members of L's task force falls from a building to their death, despite Light not writing their names in the Death Note. Light suspects Ryuk of being behind the killings of the task squad members. Light soon discovers that the owner of the Death Note can burn one name out of the Death Note and, in so doing, prevent the death of that person. Knowing that L is closing in on him, Light writes L's assistant's name into the Death Note. He orders the assistant to track down L's real identity and deliver it to him within 48 hours. If the assistant succeeds, Light will burn the page with the assistant's name. The assistant goes to an abandoned building and manages to find records containing L's identity, but is killed before he can tell it to Light, after Light is unable to find the page of the Death Note containing the assistant's name. Light wonders why the page containing the assistant's name was ripped out of the Death Note. L is informed about his assistant death and, enraged with anger, deciding to kill Light personally, as he lacks enough hard evidence to charge him with Kira's crimes. James realizes what L is trying to do and orders the police to stop L. Meanwhile, Mia and Light goes to prom while dancing. She reveals that she is the one who discovered the identities of L's task force and killed them, stealing the page with the assistant's name so L couldn't rescind the death sentence, and demands that Light give her ownership of the book, ordering him to go get the book. Some cops and members of the task force pursue Light as he sends Mia a text message to meet her at a Ferris wheel to give her the Death Note. Light meets Mia on the Ferris wheel and asks her to agree to abandon the Death Note and run away with him. She refuses quickly, grabbing the book as the Ferris wheel starts falling apart. The pair fall out of the Ferris wheel, and Mia ends up falling, taking out a page containing Light's name from the note as she falls to her death, dropping the page in a fire to burn. Meanwhile, Light and the Death Note fall into the nearby ocean. Light is rescued and put into a medically induced coma. When Light awakens, he finds the Death Note on him. While laying on the hospital bed, he quickly hides it. He sees on the news that Kira kept killing people while Light was in a coma, clearing him as a suspect. L is fired from the task force in disgrace. James visits Light and demands to know if he really is Kira. Light admits he is Kira, and explains that he predicted the events writing Mia's name in the Death Note, controlling her into destroying the page with his name on it before she died. He also wrote several other accused criminals' names in the Death Note and ordered them to rescue him, rescue the Death Note, write names in it while he was unconscious, and then return the Death Note to him before they died. In so doing, he manipulated his victory. James seems stunned by these revelations. L goes back to breaks into Light's house. He finds the page of the Death Note with his task force's names written on it, hidden in Light's room. Realizing the power of the paper, he picks up a pen and considers whether to write Light's name on the page. As L considers what to do, Ryuk appears to Light and begins laughing about how interesting humans are, suggesting that L will not dispatch of Light so easily. What's your thoughts about this movie? Let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video as we bring you more movie recaps with